Welcome to another edition of the Gridiron Report. I'm Jared Johnson, and 56-48, Texas Tech won a good old-fashioned Big 12 shootout at Oklahoma State earlier today. And I can't say the Red Raiders just looked great in the game, but they got the win on the road in the Big 12. That's their third Big 12 road victory of the season, which is an accomplishment in itself. Texas Tech moved to 7-4 overall and 5-3 in the Big 12. So that guarantees a winning record in the Big 12 for the third consecutive season, which is the first time Texas Tech's ever done that. Now, when they made the transition from the Southwest Conference, they had a winning record in the Southwest Conference and a couple in the Big 12 or something. I can't remember if it was 2-1, which one, but they did have three consecutive winning records since they joined the Big 12, just not all in the Big 12, if that makes sense. So that's an accomplishment. Tech's going to win at least 7 regular season games this year, which is good. It's not like a huge step in the right direction. They have an opportunity to beat West Virginia and win 8 games in a regular season for the first time since 2009. I do think that's an accomplishment, but they got to win that game. And just looking at this game on its own, let's give some props to the offense before we talk about the defense. Baron Morton, 35 of 50 for 366 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception. That was a really bad decision, bad throw. But, what a good game overall in terms of stats and putting points on the board and all those things and getting the win. Taj Brooks, another monster performance, 133 rushing yards, 3 scores on the ground. He also threw a couple of times for 38 yards. And he also was the leading receiver in terms of catches. He had 9 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. That was a really nice play, him out of the backfield. Coy Aiken had a good game. It's good because he hadn't really produced a lot here recently. But 7 catches for 90 yards. Jalen Conyers, tight ends were involved much more today and really from the outset. But Conyers had a good game with 7 catches for 74 yards and a score. Caleb Douglas, another outside receiver, 5 catches for 105 yards and a score. Tharp got a touchdown earlier in the game. Mason Tharp, the big tight end. So offensively, they looked really good. Defensively, neither team looked good. The two teams scored a combined 69 second-half points. Seemed like whoever had the ball last was going to win. But really, in reality, 2 huge turnovers sealed the victory for Texas Tech. And the difference was the Red Raiders had Jacob Rodriguez, their stud inside linebacker, and Oklahoma State didn't. Rodriguez had 13 tackles, fumble recovery for a touchdown in the second half, and an interception that sealed the victory for the Red Raiders. So just another great performance. It seems like when Texas Tech really needs a play on defense, and they need it a lot because their defense has struggled this year, Jacob Rodriguez comes up with a big forced fumble, interception, sack, something. He makes big plays. This team without Jacob Rodriguez this year would be not very good. Let's just be honest, especially on defense. I don't know. They may not even be bowl eligible for Jacob Rodriguez. The guy is just to me, he's an all Big 12 first team all Big 12 performer. Just a terrific player, big time playmaker, and he has a knack for making big time plays in big time moments for the Red Raiders. So I got to give him a lot of love. The Big 12 refs were terrible again. Ollie Gordon was good. He ended up, I threw a pass for 27 yards. He had 156 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He also caught 3 passes for 30 yards. So really him and Taj kind of canceled each other out. 2 great, really, really good running backs having monster games. I'm not going to attempt to say Oklahoma State's quarterback's first name, but Smith had a pretty good game in his first start. 26 for 36 for 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the interception. He also had a rushing touchdown. So, Texas Tech's defense struggled. Special teams, they had some problems there late. Even Coach McGuire, Coach Perry got into it a little bit. Those guys are best friends, been friends for years, been coaches for years. They understand in the heat of the battle. So I'd be surprised if if they haven't already made up by the time I'm doing this video. But, it was a win Texas Tech really needed to have against a struggling Oklahoma State team, and they got it done. Bottom line is, in its you got to look at it with offensively. It's really hard to complain about anything, say anything bad about the offense. I'm sure it still will happen, but that late drive, the drive at the end of the first half, I think was key. But there were a lot of key drives, and a lot of big performances on offense for Texas Tech. So, well, for both teams, but certainly for Texas Tech as well. And Baron Morton, I've criticized him because he really struggled against Colorado. And it's kind of never really kind of like you wonder if he's already reached his ceiling, but perhaps not. And maybe it was just the opponent he was playing today. But regardless, it was a Big 12 opponent on the road, and apparently he likes playing at Oklahoma State because earlier in his career he had a really good game too, a couple of years ago in Stillwater. But he was great. He was tremendous, and they needed it. They definitely needed that kind of performance from him. So hats off to Baron Morton. Big time win. Texas Tech. They had been spiraling. They were coming out of their second bye, and they did have that big win at Iowa State, but they also had lost 3 or 4 coming into this game. So now they're 2-1 in November. The narrative start changing with the win. Already up to 7 wins. Already locked in the winning record in Big 12 play. So there's a lot of good things to look at in terms of Texas Tech season with this win. The cherry on top would definitely be a win in the home finale next week after Thanksgiving against West Virginia. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.